We have completed the framing phase. It's pretty amazing. In 2 weeks, we started 2 weeks ago today, and it was just a foundation. And now we have a completed shell. It's not a waterproof shell yet because we haven't finished off the roofing, but or the siding. But we've now wrapped Siga wrap, which is a German weatherproof wrapping, around the exterior of the house. We have all the windows in place, French doors in place. Don't have the front door in yet. I'm going to walk you guys inside. Check it out. So I guess the only thing I really wanted to point out at this point was just the staggered stud construction, because before too long we won't be able to see this. So the staggered stud construction is, the idea is to create an exterior stud wall, which is the structural stud wall, and then an interior wall, and then there's a space between them. And the insulation is going to fill in this whole cavity. So this wall is going to be 8 3/4 inch thick, which is 3 inches thicker than a normal wall, which is going to allow for more insulation. This interior wall is really just floating here, and it's really its sole purpose is just to hang a piece of drywall and to hold that insulation in, but it's not really going to serve any purpose. Then occasionally what you see around doors and around windows is pieces of wood that run all the way through for structural support around those. So here's a block of wood that goes all the way through from the exterior sheathing to the interior wall. And I was trying to prevent that as much as possible in the design, because this is what's creating a thermal bridge. So that means that the exterior temperature can pass through this wood member all the way to the inside of the house. And that's a thermal bridge, and most houses are constructed that way. But we don't want to conduct heat outside, and we don't want the outdoor temperature to conduct its way in. Either way, you're getting an efficiency loss or a heat loss, and so we're trying to prevent that as much as possible by using this staggered stud construction. The only place where that is different is along the kitchen. This wall is only 6 inches thick, and so here there's going to be a piece of drywall hanging on this little 2x piece here, the spurring strip. And again, the only thermal bridging that's going to happen here is going to be in this one little space, as opposed to along this entire stud being a 2x6. So that's kind of the most unique aspect of the framing, other than just the kind of the space efficient design of the whole place. Every square foot of this house has a purpose. It was all very intentionally laid out, and hopefully that it'll be used in a way that takes maximum advantage of the fact that it's a relatively small house. Although, because of the way it's laid out, it doesn't really feel that small. During our open house yesterday, a lot of people were commenting, and I agree, that this place feels really big. It's 800 square feet, which is way smaller than the average American home of, what is the average American home? 1,500, 2,000 square feet, 2,500 square feet? I don't know. But this is half the size of the average American home, but it feels quite big. So this is looking over the bedroom wall, downstairs, into the kitchen area, into the hallway, bathroom area, attic, skylight, back toward the closet. This is going to have a solar sky tube right there. It's going to let light into the closet. The floor right now is that subfloor is on top of that blue pine that I showed you in an earlier video. Then there's going to be one insulation here, and then PEX tubing, more of that PEX tubing, and then this is going to have radiant floor heating in this bedroom as well. And then we're going to put another subfloor on top of this, and then some kind of a flooring on top of that. Don't know what that flooring is going to look like yet, but I'm working on it. So that is that. Things are coming together. And let's see, this week is going to be plumbing and electrical work. Now that there's an empty shell for those guys to work with, they can start actually roughing in what's called roughing in the plumbing, roughing in the electrical, getting things set up where they need to be. So I'm going to start marking exactly where the sink should be and exactly where the lights need to be and where the switches should be. And then we'll put on the siding and start working on the rough plumbing, rough electrical, and then after that we'll be doing the drywalling. So looks like we're on target to have the shell done here in about 1 month.